What's going on, guys? John here, back again with another review for you guys. And today I'm going to be looking at the 1990 miniseries, It. And just to let you guys know, this was actually my first time watching this. I did grow up with everybody, all my friends, talking about it and like, oh, this is the scariest thing ever. And then when I was growing up, it eventually became like one of those classic films that I eventually had to watch. And I thought, what other perfect time than now with the new one being released? Actually, tonight, for those of you guys who are lucky to go see it tonight. And to be honest, guys, I kind of regret missing out on it because I fell in love with this movie. And before you guys head to the comment section to correct me, I do know that it's a two-part miniseries, but for me, I saw it all in one sitting, so I see it like a 3-hour movie. And guys, I did just say that I fell in love with this movie, but I do realize that it has its negatives, so let's talk about them. So this came out in 1990, so you can tell that it's dated, everything from like the dialogue, the special effects, and even some of the like haircuts and stuff like that. That's not a negative, but I do like when a film is able to hold up, all these years after that. And this film, I wouldn't say it's a big flaw, but you can tell that it's dated. The acting isn't really the strongest part to this, but there is some decent performances, just nothing really great, nothing like stands out. But there is one in particular, obviously, that I'm going to talk about in my positives. But as for this, there's some decent performances, but that's pretty much it. And at times I feel like this could have been edited a little bit more neatly. It's kind of a mess towards the middle, and I feel like there's a lot of scenes in random spots of the movie. And I haven't read the book, but I feel like some of the scenes were just like there, like to make it a miniseries, like to make it longer or something like that. But like I said, I don't know if those scenes were in the book. But like I said, the movie did feel a little bit messy at times. Without getting into any spoilers, I feel like the ending was a bit anticlimactic. Not the very end, but kind of like the end, big scene. It was consistent to like the rest of the film, but I was expecting just a little bit more, something a little bit more personal than kind of just, I don't want to give anything away for those of you who haven't seen it. But with that, plus what I said earlier, that the special effects were a little bit dated, it was kind of like, but I do appreciate it, and maybe it's different in the book, so who knows. Getting to the positives, guys, I do feel like the story and the characters is the strongest point to this, and this is why I fell in love with this, and this is why I actually have the book on its way to my house. I just ordered it from Amazon because I really wanted to dive into more in this characters and the lore and the story, and I know that the book is always better, and so far I have heard that the book is better than the movie. But with the characters and the story from the movie or the miniseries, whatever, I just felt like it's a timeless classic tale of like these kids and going through these adventures and stuff like that. Obviously, these scary things are happening, and on top of that, they have a lot of stuff going on at home, a lot of personal issues, and I just love that they come together because they need to, in order to face this killer clown, dancing clown, whatever, and I've always been a big fan of those type of stories where kind of like kids are just on their own, they got to figure it out. That's why I loved Stranger Things and The Goonies, just stories like that. And before doing this whole YouTube thing, I thought I wanted to be a filmmaker, so I'd have all these scripts and all these stories and stuff like that, and I always wanted to do something like this. So it was great to finally see something in the kind of realm that I wanted to do, like just be fully realized. And that's why I fell in love with these characters and the story and stuff like that. So that's a huge positive in my book. Going off a little bit of what I just said about the characters and the story and stuff like that, I felt like this was more than just a horror movie. Obviously, it does have its scares, and to be completely honest, I know that I just said that this film was dated, but some scenes kind of did have me like freaked out, because like this clown is just there. Like I was like, how come nobody's like questioning this and stuff like that? But for me, obviously, it was kind of creepy and stuff like that. So kudos to that. But like I was saying, this movie's not just a horror movie. This is really kind of like a character piece, and I don't want to say a character study, but you see like these characters and kind of their story of like coming of age and coming to terms to with a lot of things, and that's something that really just pulls you in and grabs you, and that's something that is really important, especially for horror movies. So when they're put in these situations, you really feel for them. So I thought this was done really great in this. So you have the Losers Club versus Pennywise the Dancing Clown, and that's the performance I was talking about a little bit earlier, guys. That is just a standout, and still to today, I felt like he had an amazing performance, and that was obviously Tim Curry as Pennywise the Dancing Clown. Obviously, I just felt like he embodied this character so much. Like he really loved playing it. He just like had full control. He, you know, had no boundaries and stuff like that. So I really liked everything from his voice to obviously the way he moves and stuff like that, and the way he just delivers some lines is like kind of chilling too. And that's what you need in one of these like killer type of personas. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Robert Englund and as Freddy and stuff like that. So I have to give a huge shout out, and this has to be in the positives, to Tim Curry's performance as Pennywise. Overall, I really enjoyed this two-part miniseries or movie or whatever you want to call it. And like I said earlier, I know it has its negatives, but for me, the positives outweigh the negatives by a lot, guys. With that being said, I have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Like I said earlier, I just fell in love with the story, these characters, the Losers Club, and I can't wait to read the book, and I cannot wait to watch the new movie tomorrow, guys. So if you have not seen this, please go check it out. But if you have seen this, and I'm pretty sure all you guys have, and I was the only one that hasn't, let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. And guys, I do have other movie reviews on my channel, as well as other movie related videos, so check them out if you guys would like. If you guys want to follow me outside of YouTube, you guys can on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at The Real Talk with 2 Ks. And as always, I'll see you at the movies. Later, guys.